know, but this is actually 5% cheaper than what we did in scatter. So I think we should go out at 95, right? Like, because then it's flat to their scatter from 3 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So I'm on that.
Right. You justify your 5%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like you're 40% higher. Like you're below, so you might as well be flat to what you were at last year.
I don't know why I can never make tea hot. One person. All right. Switch it over to broadcast. Right. I'm okay. Okay, so let's get started. So I am an associated member of T3 Trading Group, which is an SEC registered broker dealer and member of FINRA SIPC. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your own financial condition. Here are some of the positions that I currently hold, which I need to disclose. Here's all the positions I currently hold, which should be disclosed. Chronos, INSG, those are the trades of the day today. Twitter has been a trade that's become a swing trade for me that I've been in for a little bit. Still have a little bit of short exposure to this market via the TQQQ and by being long the TZA, which is a bearish ETF. Quickly about me. I am the senior trader and registered principal at T3 Trading Group. I run T3's Manhattan office, the trading floor there, when it's able to be open. I've been with T3 Trading Group since 2011. I was with T3 Capital starting in 2010. I've mentored well over 100 professional traders, currently managing a group of that's well in excess of 50 traders. And on the side, I've been involved in martial arts basically my entire life. Here's how you can get in touch with me. This is my email. I'm going to be going through charts today. I'm going to be going through T3 Trading Group, a lot of things that we offer to our professional traders. So feel free to reach out to me on my email address here at any time. All right, let's do it. Let's go to the charts. All right, so here's a SPY. What I really want to do today, I'll talk about the market briefly, but what I really want to do today is I want to highlight 2 trades today that I really consider to be the trade of the day, and how my team and I really came across them, how we utilized the virtual trading floor, the Pro Desk room, to kind of provide information to each other that really led to the best trades of the day, in my opinion. But real quick, first of all, with the market, market's looking bullish, right? So we broke out of this consolidation a couple weeks ago now. So while we're above 320, really it's the area between like 318 and 320, the technicals are generally looking pretty bullish, even though we haven't gotten a lot of follow through. The Qs are still within their, where's the Qs? Here's the Qs. The Qs are still within their upward channel that they have been in since the March low, but there's a couple things to take notice of that are occurring right now with the Qs, which is what's really led this market higher up until this point. And what we want to take notice of is last week we had a potential, you could call it an equal high, you could call it a slightly lower high, but basically when you get 2 equal highs in an uptrend, or in this case a slight lower high, the pre-market price action actually got to this. So this high right here on July 13th is 269.79 in the Qs, which is the ETF that represents the NASDAQ. Pre-market on this day, July 21st, we got to this high by 1 penny. So this high is 269.79. This high we got to 269.78. Though during the day the high is only 268.41. So you could view this as an equal high if you're including pre-market, or you could view it as a slightly lower high that's worth noting if you're only looking at during market hours. And then it led to a little bit of a lower low. This day, which is Friday of last week, 2 days ago, was the first time that we have had a close in the NASDAQ, in the Qs, below the 21 EMA. Now, it's just one day, it's just one close, doesn't necessarily mean anything, but all of this is something that I would say it's worth taking note of. Again, we are in a strong uptrend. The general rule is that trends continue. So I'm in no way coming here calling a top or anything like that, but this could be a potential little double top pattern. This is something to take notice of. I would not be surprised if this leads to broader consolidation. I would not be surprised if this leads to a little bit of a breakdown. I mean, look, if we pulled back to 240 in the Qs, it's still not unhealthy. It would only take us back to where we were at the end of June. And again, if this is a double top formation, the technical continuation of a double top is the distance between the high basically and the pivot low. So this high is about 270. This low here is about 253 or so. So that would be $17 there. So the technical continuation of that break would be $17 to the downside beneath 253 or so. So that would actually overshoot this 240 that I was just talking about by a little bit. So that would bring us down to around 235 or so, which again, even a pullback to somewhere between 235 and 240 in the Qs would not be unhealthy considering this move that we've had. With that said though, we still have this trend in place. The trend line itself is still holding. All I'm saying is that this is something worth taking note of. So that's what the NASDAQ is doing, whereas at the same time, the SPY, the S&P, has really broken out. It's sitting here above 320. It still looks really healthy. And the IWM, which had been the weakest indice, had also broken out. It's sitting up above its 200. It's my yellow line here. It's sitting up above this more recent resistance of 145. So I think that the IWM, as long as it's above 145, it looks healthy. The SPYs, as long as it's above 318 to 320, looks healthy. The Qs here are something to take note of. One of the things my team and I have been talking about is is this the beginning of some mean reversion? So this market, I've spoken about this in previous webinars. I have never seen a market where relative strength and relative weakness are so important. I know guys out there who have done tremendously well by being long relative strength, which is really tech. I know guys out there who have made money by being short relative weakness, by being short the IWM in this area, by being short, some of the relatively weak names that have been out there, your cruise lines and your Boeing and your airlines. So there's just been huge differences between relative strength and relative weakness. Like, honestly, I've never seen it to this degree in my entire career. So, what does this mean here in the Qs? Well, maybe it means nothing. Maybe it's something to take notice of, that Qs could break down a little bit more, or maybe it just means that we're going to get a little bit of mean reversion. Time will tell. So that's kind of where the indices are right now. With that said, like I was saying before, I want to highlight a couple of trades today that my team and I were involved in. And really what I want to show you guys is how we utilize my VTF, my T3 Live VTF. It's called the Pro Desk, in conjunction with trades. So the VTF room that I'm a part of is called the Pro Desk because, even though anyone can be involved in it, all of my professional team is really involved in the Pro Desk VTF. So here it is live right now. So again, I got a really great group of traders in here. We've all been doing a great job providing each other information, news, trading ideas, and it's really been helping the team as a whole. So it's a great community. So the two trades I really want to highlight, basically in conjunction with the VTF room, where we provided some information with the charts. So the first one that I want to take a look at is CGC today. So CGC has had a really solid day. Right now, as we're having this conversation, it's up 9.5%. Here is the intraday move on CGC. Really impressive. So I actually first called out Kronos, which is another name in the same sector, right? They call it the wellness sector. It's like basically marijuana. So I actually saw Kronos, because this is a name that I've been involved in as a swing trade, really start to go here on volume. And I was on the VTF radio at that time, and I communicated, hey guys, Kronos here starting to go on some volume. And then basically, more or less at the same time, or slightly after, let's scroll all the way back to, I think it was about 9:45 this morning. Where are we? 9:45. Okay. So you can see here, Patrick. So I had just communicated Kronos, picking up on volume. And you can see here, Pat H. is one of my pro traders. He's great guy, awesome trader, and he provides a lot of information for the team on news, bullish option flow, things like that. So he posted here at 9:43 that CGC had a sweep. And then he posted again at 9:43 that CGC is seeing early bull flow. So this is option activity. Then again here, 9:45, CGC sweep. And it's kind of giving you the pricing information for August 7th, 18 calls. So this is all bullish information, right? So what we do here is we are combining technicals, and we're also, utilize understanding option flow as what I call a layer of probability. So I've spoken about probability, significantly in the past in other webinars. Basically, there are many, many factors that influence a stock at any time. So here I'm looking at Kronos, and then all of a sudden at that 9:43, you can see this is the 940 bar. So it's within the confines of this bar. Patrick starts calling out the bullish option flow coming into CGC. So you could have picked up stock right away if you wanted to, probably in the 1740s or so, maybe low 1750s. And if you're initially taking that trade, what you want to look at, so the definition of a trade, my definition of a trade is something with a technical reason and a technical out. So you're seeing the heavy volume come in, you see the bullish option flow, Kronos is starting to go as well, the whole sector is starting to go. So the trade here is basically you can purchase within this bar, and you use the low of the bar as your out. And this bar is significant because of the volume. It's what we call a positive Marubozu candlestick on very high volume. So this stock should never violate this low. If it ever violates this low, then you know that you're wrong and you get out of the way, right? And why is that significant? It's significant because you know based on this volume that a lot of people just purchased within this candlestick. So if it ever breaks below that low, all those people that bought, they're out of the money. And that means that you want to get out of the way because it's likely to lead to a feedback cycle of selling in the marketplace. So CGC starts to go, Pat's calling it out, we see the volume come in, and then guess what? Some people didn't get in right away. Beautiful little bull flag pattern. And I know that this actually is where a bunch of people in the VTF communicated that they started to get involved. I communicated that the bull flag was building right about at the time at this third bar here where it actually continues on volume. Right as this third bar was beginning, I'm like, guys, formed a bull flag here. When do bull flags typically continue? Bull flags typically continue when the 8 EMA, that upper band of equilibrium, catches up to the base of the flag. That's exactly what happened here. You can even see that the volume here is perfect for what a bull flag is supposed to look like. High volume Maribozu, lower volume rest period, higher volume continuation. So traders who didn't get in on this first bar were communicating that they were then getting in, in this area and on this bar. And that's perfect. And then bam, there's your next level of continuation, gets a bit extended, it price corrects. This is really more of a 15-minute price correction. So if you look at a 15-minute chart, which I can pull up, you'll see that the price action here pulls back probably to about the 8 EMA on the 15-minute chart. Look at that. Perfect 15-minute correction. At this time of the day, at 11 o'clock, 15-minute charts typically become more important than 5-minute charts. 5-minute charts are best, really that first 30 minutes or hour of the day, or, if there's news going on, middle of the day, your 15-minute chart becomes more important. And then from there, look at that. We're just seeing continuation. I think when I started talking to you guys just a few minutes ago about this trade, I said that CGC is up 9.5%. Now it's up over 11% and still giving continuation. Look at this next level of volume that's come in, and guys are actively trading this for cash flow throughout all of it. So that is one of the trades of the day. The other real trade of the day today that I want to talk about, it's basically the exact same thing, is in INSG, which, I was not personally involved in CGC today. I'm involved in Kronos, but I am also involved in this INSG. So INSG, again, let's start by taking a look at the VTF room so you guys can learn and see how we utilize this communication in the VTF with our technicals to trade, and we have such an awesome team in here. So at 10:05 or so, INSG starts taking off. And look, it's very similar here. At 10:04, Pat communicates that there's a block trade going off in INSG. It's bullish action. The August 20th calls, the August $20 calls. Immediately followed by more bullish action coming in. August 1750 calls. And it's a multi-sweep. Look at that. Here again, 10:05, more INSG bullish action coming in. Look at this. 10:06, more INSG bullish action coming in. 10:06, INSG, aggressive cheap sweepers flowing in here. It's a 5G play, which I already know because I've been involved in the name. So again, you see that information come in via Pat, and again, the first post there is at 10:06. Well, look at this. This is the 10 o'clock bar, right? So we're communicating it, and then 10:06, this thing is really starting to go. When I typed this stock up, when Pat really brought it to me, even though I'm in it as a swing trade, Pat communicated it. I typed it up as fast as I could, because that's what you always want to do when anybody in the team is communicating anything, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, take a look at it. There could be an opportunity there. So, Pat communicates that, I type it up, and bam, you could have bought stock in the mid to low 1150s when he communicated that information if you typed it up. Now, a little bit of risk there. The volume here, the low of the volume bar, which again, as I discussed on the CGC trade, is $11.15. So if you're coming in and you're buying like $11.55 or so, you're out on the trade really needs to be down at $11.15. So you're taking on 40 cents risk. 40 cents risk in $11 stock is without a doubt a decent amount of risk. So you got to make sure that your tier size is appropriate for the amount that you're taking. I know the stock pretty well. I know it's been in a long consolidation here. This is the daily chart now. So the daily chart really looks good for a breakout for continuation. The option flow begins to come in, and you're able to scoop stock up potentially in the 1150s, and then just look at the continuation. We look at this option flow because the option flow is the only real clue that you can get for the most part on like what institutions are doing kind of in real time, because it comes across the books like that when you see those big options trades going through. So same thing, you get in here at 11:55. The volume here is your confirmation. You're out on the trade. It could be 11:14 or so. That's what I would be using on it. And then just look at the beautiful continuation. From a game planning perspective, you book a little bit of profit. This candle here is not exactly sexy if you're long, but all this candle really means is a price or time correction back down to the ADMA. That's exactly what you get. So maybe you book a little bit of profit. You caught this huge move, right? Look at this high. It's 10 minutes later, $12.15. Your risk was 40 cents on the trade, and you're already 60, 70 cents in the money at this point. So 1.5 to 1. What I like to do is I like to sell 50% of my position and 1 to 1 on my risk to get the risk covered. Now, if the trade fails, I'm not really going to be putting myself in a position to lose money. And then I can implement trailing techniques that we utilize as pro traders based on a system, a rules-based system, to then be trailing this thing all the way up. And look at this. This is actually held its 5-minute trend perfectly so far today. That's actually pretty rare. 5-minute trends typically break intraday, and again, the 15-minute trend is usually the most important. Look how strong this stock is. This thing, even here now at 12.20, has not yet had a correction down anywhere into its 15-minute equilibrium. With that said, this previous candle here is something that I would take note of. It's a little bit of a warning sign. This is what's called a spinning top doji, and it's on higher volume. So this last bar is a signal that maybe now you could get a 15-minute correction back down a little bit. But you just take note of these things. If you have enough stock, you book a little bit of extra profit for yourself, or if you want to be greedy, you just kind of continue to trail. I really like kind of the story behind this name as well. So I probably would tend to be a little bit more greedy in what I'm doing here on this trade. Cool. All right, guys, so that's basically it. I just wanted to review the market with you guys again a little bit, market update for everybody, and I wanted to review the 2 best trades of the day here that the team and I were working on here in the VTF, and I wanted to show everyone how we combine our technicals with our communication here in the virtual trading floor room, just to make everyone a more successful trader and to create more opportunities. So with that said, let's talk a little bit about prop trading with T3 Trading Group, what you need to know. So, T3 Trading Group is one of the largest prop trading firms in the United States. We've got well over 500 licensed professional accounts at this point. We've got 6 physical trading offices, New York City headquarter offices where I typically work. Right now I'm in Wyoming because the office is closed and I can trade remotely from anywhere that I want. So my wife and I, we decided to drive out to Wyoming. It's beautiful out here. Did some awesome hiking last weekend in the Bighorn Mountains. But I'm hoping that as a nation we can get through this coronavirus situation so I can get back in New York City, which is where I live. It's the city that I love, and start getting back into the office. But as of right now, things are going well on a remote basis. T3 Trading Group is an SEC broker-dealer and member of FINRA SIPC. That means that all of our traders have to become licensed, all of our professional traders. We have retail trading accounts as well. If you want to open up a retail account with us, you have the benefit of direct market access, and you'll still get access to my VTF room and everything. But our professional traders need to be licensed. You have to pass the SIE exam, Security Industry Essentials, and the Series 57. T3 will sponsor you for the exams. T3 will provide you with study materials. We sign all of our incoming traders up for an STC study program. You're going to get textbook, online classes, online practice tests. And in order to join T3, you also have to get fingerprints done, complete registration paperwork, go through a bit of a background check. We are unable to bring on, felons as an example into the company. So that's the purpose of the background check there. Cool. And then after you pass the exams, that's when we can get started with trading. At this point, we have 3 different trading software options available: Lightspeed, Sterling Trader Pro, and Wolverine or WEX. The one that I use personally is Lightspeed. Sterling Trader Pro is also an excellent software. Typically what we do is we start by allocating you a demo account for a week or 2, just so you can get used to the software. I'd have, one of my teammates would get on the phone with you, give you a full tutorial of the software, help you set up your charts, layout, hotkeys, everything the way that you want. And then once you're feeling comfortable, that's when we switch you over to the live account. And that's particularly, if you're focused on equities or equity options, you'd be using one of those softwares. Futures traders with the firm, they use a different software. They use Rhythmic Trader Pro. Then you're getting involved with your actual live trading. I work with traders at the entry level, and I work with traders who've got decades of experience, and anywhere in between. For my brand new traders, they get access to training program, daily morning meeting, daily afternoon meeting. Training and development is something I take really seriously. And even my experienced people, guys who've been trading for decades, when they get involved with me, if they do take that training program, some of it starts pretty basic, but I get a lot of feedback on some of the other things. Guys, even sometimes who are, industry veterans, don't really necessarily know a whole lot about tape reading or a whole lot about how routing works. So that's a lot of information that I get across, during the training program. So really all levels of experience, you're coming to a great place here at T3 Trading Group, being involved in my team. I think it's just going to bring you to the next level as a trader. When we switch you over to that live account, you are required to commit a capital contribution. The amount that you want to come in with is, for the most part, up to you. We do have a minimum amount. And then what we do on our end is we typically start by providing buying power at 20 times for intraday trading and 8 times for overnight positions. That can vary a little bit depending upon the trader, the strategies he's using, things like that. We can make that number bigger, we can make that number smaller. And all of the education, training, everything I was talking about, you're going to get all that for free. And then the way compensation works for our professional traders is through a profit split. So you're going to get a percentage of your P&L payable to you as basically a paycheck at the end of any successful month trading. Yeah, and again, like I was already talking about, experienced traders are welcome. I got, a fantastic group of people, all levels of experience, some guys who have been involved for decades, get involved in the team, and I really feel confident that no matter what your experience level is, that we're going to help to take you to the next level. And then again, you get all this awesome free stuff thrown in as well. If you open up a prop account with us or a retail account with us, you're going to get my VTF room. That's where I do the morning meeting. It's where I do the afternoon meeting each day. You're going to get my training program. You're going to get some Scott Rubler access, the Red Dog. He's been involved in the business for a real long time. Definitely look up to him as a mentor. He's a guy who taught me a lot over the course of my own trading career. So you're going to get access to his VTF room. You can get access to the Redler All Access newsletter as well. So the whole point, honestly, on all of this is that what we're trying to do here at T3 Trading Group is we are trying to put our traders in the best possible position for success. And this is a difficult business without a doubt. Anybody who's been trading for a long time can tell you about how tough trading can be. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, the times that T3 has been the most important to me are the times when I've struggled in my own trading. And I've been able to turn to other traders at the firm who are even more experienced than me for advice on what changes I need to make in order to get back to success. And that's extremely valuable. If you're just completely trading on your own and you hit a slump, which happens to everyone, I don't care how long you've been trading, all traders hit slumps at certain points. And you're just going it on your own. You got to figure that out on your own, and that can be really difficult. But if you've got a strong team around you, you're part of a strong group, then you can reach out to those other people on that team. You can ask them, what are they focused on? What are they doing right now in this market that's working for them? and they can help you to make the adjustments necessary for continued success. So again, if you want to become part of the team, if you're interested in a professional proprietary account, if you're interested in a retail account with T3, if you're interested in just talking shop and talking trading, reach out to me. Here's my email address. I'm always happy to chat. And I guess if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them, or I'm also happy to get back to my trading. Oh, so someone here asked me about what moving averages I had on my charts. Where did my chart go? Yeah, so basically I utilize, so here is CGC, which is now up 12.2%, still going. Let's go, I love it. So here is CGC, really on any time frame. The moving averages that I utilize are the 80 EMA and the 21 EMA. I also really look at a 200 SMA on the bigger picture. I look at a 20 and 50 SMA sometimes as well on the bigger picture. But the 8 and 21 EMA are most important for me on my trading time frames. I consider the space between the 8 and 21 EMA to be what I call technical equilibrium for the market. So if my stock is trading all the way up here, I think INSG was an even better example. It got nice and extended. Yeah, look at this. If the stock is all the way up here at $12.13 and the 80 EMA is all the way down here at $11.60, I would say that this stock is extended from its upper band of technical equilibrium by 50 cents. So that's really how I utilize extension. And it obviously gets much more complicated than that. When you're looking at a strongly trending stock, you want to see it pivot somewhere in this equilibrium area to kind of continue its trend. And this is useful. Maybe you missed the buy and now you're thinking, oh, should I buy up here? And you see how extended it is, and you're like, you know what? I kind of missed the trade. I need to be patient. I need to let it reset up, and I'm not buying here and enduring this potential pain. And now I see this 80 EMA catch up to this base, and maybe I can utilize that as an opportunity to get in. So 80 EMA, 21 EMA are really important tools for my own trading. Cool. Any other questions out there? All right, guys. That's going to cover it for today then. Thanks for tuning in. We'll pick this up again next week. We'll see what's going on with the market. Reach out to me. Become part of the team. You're missing out if you're not. See you guys. How do I